Shalom Israel. This is the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hunter. Started out at 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. This is the ISUPK Nashville Wednesday night law class. I am priest and officer Zabak Yasharala. Here in the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hunter, we are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group that is on the face of this earth. For we are home of the truth. We're not affiliated with Christianity. We're not affiliated with Islam, Egyptology, Scientology. We're not affiliated with, if it's not of the truth, then it's not of the ISUPK under Commander Jimmy Hunt. It is not. It is not. Everything else is watered down, washed down. Everything else is BS. Here in the ISUPK and the Commander Junior Hunter since 1969, we have been teaching so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, man, woman, and child, the truth according to the Bible, that they are the real Jews according to the words of the Most High, that they are God's chosen people. And my title for tonight is Being God's Chosen People, You Should Never Forget. You should never forget. Before I get started, are there any questions in the class? All right. You should never forget who you are. And being here in America, God's chosen people, we have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten 400 plus years due to the oppression, due to whitewashing, due to media. And we have then gotten comfortable with being called Afro-American, being called colored, being called Black people. You have been called everything else except an Israelite. You have been called everything else except an Israelite from the tribe that you are from. And now, here in 2026, if you ask the average Black person who they are, they would tell you that you're not gonna get an Israelite from this tribe, that tribe. You're gonna get, for the majority, you're gonna get that you're a Christian. You're gonna get that you're a Christian, and we as God chosen people, we think that Christianity is a nationality, and it's not. You know, that's just putting a little label on you. And for God's chosen people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you really don't know the origin of Christianity. You really don't know the demise behind Christianity. You know, we'll sit and call ourselves Blacks. We'll sit and call ourselves African American. And that's man, I can't even think of the word, but I'm going to go ahead and give you the breakdown on that. Calling yourself. Yes.
Right. It's a method of paper genocide.
It's that, plus it's also it's that, but it goes a little deeper. It goes a little deeper because when you say that you are African American, I'm gonna give you a little breakdown on that. When you say you African American, you labeling yourself under two labels, which is of European. Because when you look at the Africa was conquered by a man named Louis Scipio Africanus. America was conquered by a European man named Amerigo Vespucci. So now, if you were to ask somebody, do you come from these two white men? It's no way. It's no way. So when a lot of people be hearing that African American, they quick to say what they hear instead of doing the research themselves. Because our oppressor, that's why we say that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because he said the way to hide knowledge from black people is put it in books. Because we would not go and do the research. We would not read. We would sit and we would say that this is this is, and we going off of things that we have heard. Because there's no way that you being a black person, you came from two white men. There's no way. There's no way that you can get that off. And there's no way that you can get that off. And it's crazy how we'll take that and we'll run with it. We'll take that and we'll run with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you ask the average European, they're gonna give you, if you ask an Irishman, he's gonna tell you, yo, I'm Irish. He might try to give you a little spin off and say that, yeah, I'm Irish American. But he'll add the American due to the fact that he know that how his people have been running America for X amount of years. You will never hear them say this here though. Even if you hear them say this, even if you hear them say that they are Caucasians, and you ask them, what is a Caucasian? They can never give you the breakdown. They can never give you the real history behind what is a Caucasian. But I'm gonna give you a little fun fact. I'm gonna give you something to laugh at. When come tomorrow, I'm gonna give you something to laugh at for the rest of your life. The word Caucasian means cave dwellers. Now this is the laughable. This is the laughable part. Out of, I say, on 100 percentile, when you look at the average Caucasian, they have a hump in their back due to how they was being in them caves. So now when you go out tomorrow, you gonna be looking at these people and you're gonna think about this class tonight and you're gonna laugh because you're gonna see the hump in their backs. And this is hereditary because it goes along. When you see that, it goes along and it fits their description. Cave dwellers. But they would tell you that, hey, I'm from such and such, such and such, such and such. You know what I'm saying? And that's because due to the landmass that you have been came from, not so much as they being say politically correct. It's not, because if you look at a Dutch, if you look at Great Britain, England, all of these are the same people. You just took on the name of the landmass that you are on right now. That's all that is. But all of y'all are descendants from Esau. All of y'all are the same people. Yes.
So basically, what you consider about Great Britain, they speak British.
It doesn't matter. The French speak French, right? These are so-called white people. Same people.
British.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna give you a little history fact. All you gotta do is trace the language. You trace the language. You trace the language. White people. And look at English. This is not our language. White people. French. White people. Spaniards. Spanish. White people. Our original language is Hebrew. That is our original language. We only speak English. We only speak English due to the fact that they like made us speak English, but it kind of goes a little deeper. It kind of goes a little deeper. You know what I'm saying? It has something to do like with the Tower of Babel. But for the most part, when you really want to know about history and don't let it confuse you. All of them the same people. So you take, that's a nugget I just gave you. So now you take that with you. Just because uh you hear Great Britain in their language, United Kingdom in their language, these still the same people. French, same people. Paris and all that, same people. London, same people. Don't let the name of the landmass throw you off. Still the same people. Still the same people. Still the same people. But here, like it says in the scripture, how, man, I'm kind of paraphrasing when I say this here, how the ox knoweth its master and the ass knoweth its master, but Israel do not know it. We have been told that we are this, we are that, and we have yet to really come to the truth of who we really are. We'll sit and let our enemy, our oppressor tell us who we are, instead of us really coming and getting in the truth, really learning the truth, really learning of who you are. They haven't taken our history book. They haven't taken our constitution, and they made billions upon billions off of it. And still yet, we want to sit and say that we are Christians. You still don't want to acknowledge that you are an Israelite. This is your tribe. The Most High say that you should not be ashamed of that. You're supposed to speak that with authority, with conviction. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should never be ashamed of who you are, especially when you know who you are. When you have come to the realization of knowing that this is who I am, nah, you should never let that throw you off course. That's why we say in the ISUPK and the Commander Junior Hunter, this is home of the truth. Because not only are you God's chosen people, but everything that is in the Bible belongs to God's chosen people. Ain't no such thing as you being grafted in. Ain't no such, nah. Ain't no, because if that's the case, this right here, real quick, when they talk about other nations being grafted in, then who the kingdom of heaven is for? If you got 12 gates leading to the kingdom of heaven for Israelites, where's Christianity at? So, matter of fact, where are the gates for the ones that they claim are grafted in? Like, no. Yes.
Christian. Are Christian are Christians going to be the real kingdom narrative?
Christianity, no. No, I'm gonna touch bases on that. But you, like, in the scripture, you can read where it talks about, but I'm gonna tell you this for a little time's sake. There were men that was called Christians, but these men were followers of Yahweh, was followers of Christ. You have Christians today that do Easter egg hunts. They do the trick or trunk thing. They celebrate Christmas. They celebrate New Year, birthdays. So these are not what you would call Christians that was once called in Antioch. These so-called people that call themselves Christians today, they celebrate every man-made holiday that is on the calendar. So, God said you can't serve two masters. You can't celebrate Christmas and call yourself uh, following God. You can't celebrate your birthday and call yourself following God. You can't. Because you is not doing the things that is of the Most High. You is not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You doing what is pleasable to you. Like how it says in 1 John 2:15, love not the world nor the things that is of this world. For if any man love the thing that is of this world, he's an enemy of God. So something as simple as you going to church on Sunday, and after Sunday, y'all down in the basement, you eating pork. No, you call yourself you getting baptized. The only thing you did just got dipped in some dirty, stagnated water. You ain't. You just came back up wet. That's all. But guess what? Now you going right back to doing what you've been doing. They just got you putting on a show in front of the church, in front of, you know what I'm saying, just to make Pastor Deacon them, Reverend them, all them look good. The water ain't been changed out in years. Talking about this water got a ring on it, like the water thick. Like the water's dirty. Like, come on, man. These people in Christianity is a joke. But you have a lot of our people that are waking up. You have a lot of God's chosen people that are waking up. They really is listening to the truth. As far as them really coming into the truth, some things gonna have to take place on the face of this earth for them to really, oh snap, I heard it. So now they're gonna start flooding these zones. They're gonna start coming into these zones. There's gonna be some things that's gonna shake them. There's things that they haven't heard, but they still kind of, you know what I'm saying, still kind of skeptical. But it's things that's gonna make them come into this truth, and they're gonna be running. They are going to be running, knocking on doors, they calling. But these priests and prophets that are in the ICU became the commander in honor, hey, come on. You are God's chosen people. It's not that we're not gonna do you like Christianity. We're not gonna close the door on you. We're not gonna turn you away. We're not gonna say, oh, how much money you got? You gotta give up this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Nah, it's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be like that. Yeah. We're gonna come in and have a seat, and you're really gonna learn what it is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. It's not gonna be you coming in, putting on a fashion show, somebody running up and down the aisle, somebody rolling on the floor, and you waving your hand like that, and people jumping and all. Nah, it's not gonna be none of that. It's not. Yeah, it's nah. It's gonna be. You're gonna get this truth. You're really gonna learn what you need to know, and that's why I love this truth, because what I know that I have got from being in this truth, like it was like mind blowing, And here in the ICU became the community in honor. We read the Bible as is. We don't do no private interpretations. We're not going to tell you something that like we getting credit from. We telling you what the Most High says. That's why me doing a class like this is like, you should never forget. You should never forget the words of the Most High. You should never forget the things that is of the Most High. You need to know who you are. So that way you really can stand up and say, you know what? I'm one of God's chosen people. That means something. Because the average person that is of color, that is God's chosen people, they cannot believe that God has put a certain people above all people that is on the face of the earth. They can't put their hand on that. They can't. So when you tell a child that is from the projects and he sees a white kid that is pulling up to school in a Mercedes or BMW, and he know that these people have money, but he know that these people are beneath him, man. You know that you come from the smartest people that is on the face of this earth, can't get around that. Especially when you know that you can read this for yourself. You hearing it and you can read it for yourself? Ah, yeah, yeah. There's no getting around it. It is no getting around it. I mean, it is no getting around it. You can't. But I'm gonna touch on some of the things that when I say that you should never forget. See, like read. All right, all right. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and start at verse 6. But you know, like it says in Proverbs 22:6, it say train up a child in the way he should go. And when he get old, he will not depart. He would train up a child in the way he should go. When he get old, he will not depart from it. So you know, when you take a little child and they are in this truth and they keep hearing the things that is of this truth, and they know that they have read it for themselves and they see it for themselves, yeah, it's hard to get a child out from up under that. It is hard. It's gonna be hard. Because now, no matter what is being said in school, a child don't have to argue with his teacher. He could say this here. He could ask the teacher something as simple as this. Do you believe in God? She might say, yeah. He done heard these scriptures so many times till he could say this here. This is this is this. Only thing she could do is just be like this right here. Well, you know, we can't talk like that in this class. But she knows the truth. She knows the truth. Because now he done gave you the book, chapter, and verse. But whenever you get that, you know, you can read it.
So this is Deuteronomy.
Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 7, and we're going to start at verse 6.
All right, so this is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. All Akim and Aquathian have it. So, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Hold up. And the word holy means separate. But a lot of our peoples, and when I say our peoples, I'm talking about God's chosen people, we have fell a victim and we are still under man, I'm kind of losing my train of thought for words. We still fall under that banner with Martin Luther King. When Martin Luther King came on the scene, walking and protesting and this and that and the third, when all Martin Luther King, you know, he had a great influence on God's chosen people. Instead of telling the truth, Martin Luther King had a hidden agenda. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King was in love with a white man. Plain and simple. Martin Luther King was in love with this white woman, and he was trying to get people to accept that and wanted that to come into play, but that wasn't going to happen because when you look at his speech, when he said that, and this is his famous little speech, the speech that he said that every little black boy and every little white girl should come together and hold hands. And that's crazy. But a lot of us, we didn't catch that because we haven't been under oppression and we want to talk about civil rights. When you just read when it say, for thou art an holy people, and the word holy means separate. The Most High didn't put us together to hold hands or come and hold hands with these people. All we had to do was come and keep the law, statutes, and commandments. All we had to do was come and serve the Most High, how he say serve him. But you know what we did? We wanted to get out from under slavery. We wanted to get out from up under being oppression. Instead, we was jumping on the bandwagon with anybody. Anybody that came along and was talking and it sounded good, they had our attention, we following them. We following them. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
When it comes to God's chosen people, it's nobody like us. Nobody don't cook like us. They don't dance like us. They don't dress like us. When it comes to athletic, you don't dance. You don't. It's nothing. We are trendsetters. We are the salt of the earth. Everybody wants to be black. Everybody. Everybody wants to be black. But I got a saying, especially when it comes to white people. I say, yeah, y'all want to be black until the cops come. When the cops come, you're going to go back to acting like Chandler. You're going to go back to acting like Tyler. You're going to go back to acting like Steven. You're going to go back to, and you're going to talk like, you're going to go back to your regular voice. You're going to go back to your regular voice. Even down to our women. You wearing blonde hair, you don't even know the science behind that. Some of our Benjamite women, you want to bleach your face, you want to be light-skinned, this and that and the third. We have been under oppression and we want to come out of it. We want to be accepted, thinking that these people is going to have mercy, is going to have sympathy. Take the white woman. She is the greatest 304 on the face of this earth. She is the greatest, yeah. A 304 is a number for being a whole. That's all. That's all. The white woman, she is getting lip injections, cheekbone injections. She getting injections in the butt out. She doing the most. Going to the tanning bed, looking like rotisserie chicken, turning from left to right. Like, yo, come on, stop. This is not for y'all. This is not for y'all. That whole nation is a nation that don't even have like melanin. Like the sun is y'all worst enemy. The sun is y'all worst enemy. Like it's crazy, but our black women, like I say, they want to be accepted. Most beautiful women on the face of the earth. Our women are the most beautiful women on the face of the earth. It ain't nothing like them. It's not nothing like them. But we want to be accepted by a people that don't have no love for us. Like in the scripture say, they don't have no respect for the young and the old. They ain't got no regards for the young and the old, male or female. They don't. Instead of us coming and serving the Most High, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, we're trying to find an easy way out. It's no different than when we was in the wilderness with Moses. When Moses went up on Mount Sinai, took all the gold and made a golden calf, thinking that this golden calf will get us out of the wilderness. Thinking this golden calf, man, we wanted to go back to Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that we done seen the things that Moses was doing when he was calling on God. We just wanted to get out. We just wanted to find an easy way out. And it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Even like right now, still to this day, we think that voting doing something for us. We think that we saying that and we following behind our oppressors, saying that God loves everybody. We should love everybody. When that is far from the truth. But you don't read the Bible. You don't know the Bible. But you will sit and say what you hearing other people say. And that's like that Martin Luther King effect. It goes right back to that. But we should never forget that we are a special people. We are a special people. Anything that we put our hands to, we dominate that. We dominate it. I'm talking about something as simple as when little girls are turning double dutch. Everybody want to do double dutch now. That thing that went worldwide. And I bet it probably started Look, I bet you Double Dutch probably started with 5 little girls. 5 little girls turning 2 ropes. And now it's doing worldwide. Worldwide. For real. Think about that for a second. Double Dutch wasn't something that you got off of, because the internet wasn't exclusive like how it is back then. And they just started jumping. Man, I done seen, listen, there used to be a group of chicks in New York, some little young girls, like want to stand up and want to bend down. She used to turn the rope over her head. Man, chick would come in and flip over the one that's stooping down. Turn a flip, wouldn't mess the rope up and stuck. The things I have seen them do, they used to go on trips. Like, they used to be on little tours and stuff. Like, stuff like that. Like how we, yeah.
Like here, like how our kids, our children, the way that they play street ball, that influenced the Harlem Globetrotters, which in turn influenced the NBA. So now you have more technical dribbling. I'm saying this from the outside looking in. I play football.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not nice with basketball at all, but I can respect the mark that we put on the game forever. Now you got white guys that need to learn how to dribble, how we invented to dribble in an industry and at a time when we weren't even allowed to play in the national league. Same thing with baseball. I mean, you don't dribble in baseball, but you know what I'm saying.
When it comes down to sports, you can count on your hands. You not going. Let me say it like this here. Like I take basketball. For every 5 white guys that you could talk about, I can give you 20 for every 5. I can give you 20 for every 5, and not putting in no, not putting in. We ain't even got to go to Michael Jordan. We ain't got to go to Magic Johnson. We don't have to go to Elijah Warren. I give you some dudes that we ain't even got to go to the NBA. Just go to the playground. But everything we as Black people have done and still doing is nobody that can outdo us. It's nobody that can outdo us. It's nobody like us on the face of this earth. But we be playing ourselves when we don't want to hear the truth when it comes to us. Because when we start talking about us, you'll have a random Black person be like, well, what about white people? They'll say that. They'll say that. And the slave mentality, you know, they don't know how to let it go. Still stuck up on the like that Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome. You know what Stockholm syndrome is? All right, all right. Still be stuck up under that. Young man Dennis checking in from Greenville. Hey, Shalom, Lord of Christ, young man Dennis. The water for checking in. Hey, hit the like button. Share, subscribe. If you got any questions, man, you can put it in the chat, man. You know, your questions get answered. But when you know how that saying go, if you don't know where you came from, you won't know where you're going. So guess what? If you know you come from greatness, guess what you're going to? You're going on to greatness. But in order to keep the greatness going, you're gonna have to be disciplined. It's a set of rules. And these rules are the law, statutes, and commandments. These rules are the law, statutes, and commandments. It's things that, you know, you can do and you can't do. So now when you start keeping these law, statutes, and commandments, guess what? Your greatness, you can be perfect. You can hold on perfection. You can stand on perfection. Because now by you being in perfection, you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You're keeping it, and it's not hard. It's not hard. A lot of people think that it's hard. You know, when you hear a person say that, they could be talking and they'll slip up and say this right here. Not so much as I'm not gonna say they're slipping up saying it because they don't know. But when they say something like this right here, well, I'm not perfect. You don't know. You don't know. Because if you knew, you would say that you're perfect. Hand the eyes you became the commander, Jimmy Hunter. You keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you can say that you're perfect. And you can say that with conviction. Stand on that. Like it's no getting around it. Yeah, I'm perfect. And if a person, and then a person that is not in the truth, they might ask you, well, how you being perfect? So now once you start breaking it down, like, I keep these law, statutes, and commandments. And you ask them something as simple as this right here. Do you celebrate your birthday? Yeah, I celebrate my bam. Something as simple as that. Now that knocks you out the box. You're out the box. So now you're not perfect. Then you know what I'm saying? Like if you really have knowledge of what it is, so now you have to break that down to them. Why you don't celebrate your birthday. But a lot of our people, especially God's chosen people that's not in this truth, like I say, one day they come into this truth. I'm talking about they gonna come like it's no tomorrow. Because things that is out there in this world is gonna cause you to come to the truth. You hearing it. You hearing it, but you battling it. You battling it because it's like this right here. Peer pressure. Man, what my man gonna say, man? I'm in the truth, man. I'm holding the Bible. I'm this and that. You don't know this is your history book. This is your constitution. This is teach you how to be a man, how to conduct yourself like a man, how to love your neighbor, how to carry yourself like a man, how to deal with the government when it comes to being a man, how to deal with your woman, how to deal with your kids, brotherhood, teaching a woman how to be a woman to her husband, how to be a mother to her kids. It's all in here. Everything you need to know that's dealing with what's going on in life is in your history book. It's in that Bible. It's in that Bible, man. It ain't no getting around it. When I'm gonna say this here. When they talk about that, how God loves everybody, let me get Joel 2:27. This right here let you know that that God is not a God of being grafted in. He is not a God of man. I don't know where they get that from, man. He being grafted.
So it was Job 22.
No, it's Joel. I'm saying it like that, but it's really Joel, not Job. Joel, like with that, you gotta hit that L on the end, like Joel. Yeah.
So Joel 22:7.
No, chapter 2, verse 27. But this will let you know that, when you hear somebody talk about being grafted in, this and that and the third, man, it's the Most High telling you who he is with, who he is for. Like it's no, God is with everybody. God is with, nah, he is not. He is not. But once again, if you're not in this truth, you don't know this Bible. You don't know this. You don't know. You being God's chosen people, and you think that you know your book, and you don't. And the same book that we read out from is in these Christian churches. But They just have the books in the Christian church just to make the church look like it's something when it's not. When in all actuality, it ain't nothing but a trap house. Whenever you had it, you could read it.
All right, so this is Joel chapter 2, verse 7.
27.
Hmm?
Yeah. Chapter 2, verse 27.
So, all right, Joel chapter 2, verse 27. Akim and I'll talk have it.
Come.
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel,
No, in the midst of everybody.
that I am in the midst of Israel,
No, in the midst of the white man.
that I am in the midst of Israel,
In the midst of Christianity.
that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed.
So this right here is cut and dry. This ain't adding on or nothing like that. So how can he be in the midst of Israel and he letting Israelites know that he is their God and none else? You can't get grafted out of that. You can't get Christianity out of that. You can't. The Most High only dealing with Israelites. And he telling you that you should not be ashamed. That you should not be ashamed. I mean, I don't see how some people, you have some people that will kind of look past the Most High if it depends on the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll try to call on the Most High when they really, really, really in need. Like if something happened to them or a family member get in a little jam or something like that. But other than that, you know, people will look past the Most High, and it'd be real simple. You know what I'm saying? You celebrating Christmas. You never read that the Most High said that we are to celebrate so-called Christ's birthday. You never read that. You only just heard that. And this has been a tradition that has been handed down through centuries, You know what I'm saying? Because if you celebrating, if you want to say that you celebrating Christ's birthday, then where the tree come from? Where the mistletoe come from? Hanging the lights, where that come from? But then you want to try to throw the kids off into that. So if you throwing the kids off into that, then it goes back to Proverbs chapter 22 and 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. When he get old, he would not depart from that. Because now you done went from Christmas being Christ's birthday, you putting up a tree, and Jeremiah 10 and 2 talks about how learn not the ways of the heathen. And it goes into talking about, one cutting a tree, fastening it up, decorating it, and all that. I'm kind of paraphrasing. But you go from celebrating a birthday, putting up a tree, you got lights on, you're throwing parties. These parties they doing the most. Kids disrespecting you. You're going in debt. You're borrowing money that, you know what I'm saying, like come around January, you know what I'm saying, rent ain't getting paid. It's chaotic. Plus, when you look at Amos chapter 5, verse 21, how the Most High say, I hate and I despise your feast days. But you is not getting this in Christianity. You is not getting this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you getting enough to where if this preacher get to yelling and he got this little white handkerchief and he start dapping his forehead And he got his people that he could look at. One over here gonna start shouting, one over here gonna start running, rolling, and all that. He putting on a show. People don't know a scam when they, you know what I'm saying? You getting scammed. That's what it all boils down to. You really getting scammed. They really putting on a show. And you paying for the show. You paying for the show, and guess what? Now you gotta pay before you leave. The show over with. So now you gotta give up a little bit more money. Cause now he ain't feel like he done reached a certain, well, we need to do this here, we need to do that. Like it's in 2026 now, man, it's getting too expensive to go to church. I don't know if people ain't realizing that, man. It's getting too expensive to go to church. Yeah, that's it. Because when you step out the church, if things don't go well, gas prices getting ready to go up, food prices ain't going down. Things is skyrocketing. Instead of you learning how to serve the Most High in all sincereness, you is being scammed. It's bad enough that you got to deal with what's going on out in society. So now, to them, church is supposed to be like a safe haven, which is not. Getting scammed, and it's not. But for God's chosen people that is not in the truth, you want to overlook the truth. You worrying about what your homegirl's saying. You worrying about what your homeboy's gonna say. And none of these people is gonna stand with you on judgment day. None of them. None of them can't go and say, well, how I know that I was looking at him funny when we was on earth. That's probably why he didn't serve you the way he should have. Nah, none of that. You ain't getting none of that. None of that can be said. None of that can be said. But it's gonna come a day to where people are going to run in this truth. People are going to run in this truth, man. It's coming. It's coming. It is coming. But like I say, when you know who you are, there's things that you should never forget. Let me get Jeremiah 14 and Jeremiah 14. We're gonna start at 1.
Jeremiah 14 and 1. Argument of what inhabits. 14.
No. You know what? Start at verse 2. Start at verse 2.
Jeremiah 14, chapter 14, verse 2. All right. So Judah mourneth.
Stop right there. So this right here, Judah mourneth. So the so-called white man say that, he says he's Jewish. He'll tell you that he's the real Jew. But he never broke down the word ish. You know what I'm saying? You know what ish means?
Derived from?
Nah, ish. All right. Young man, I don't know your age, but I know you a grown man. You're a grown man. You consider yourself a grown man. All right. Take me, you and Kabashwan, we going somewhere. We in the store or something like that. You start playing. Kabashwan look at you. He said, yo, man, stop acting childish, young man. What is Kabashwan saying to you? What is Kabashwan saying to you?
So he's saying I'm acting like a child.
Okay. So the word ish means acting like, pertaining to. So now, if the so-called white man calls himself Jewish, what is he doing?
trying to act like.
acting like pertaining to. So now when you look at the word Judah, the word Jew is short for Judah. So Judah is in mourning. The white man is not in mourning. None of his young men are being unalived in the streets. He is not in poverty. He is not, like, his nation is well off. So this cannot describe him. He is not in mourning. He is not. His nation is not in mourning. His nation is at the top of all nations when it comes to having power, having money, having access to do this and do that. His nation can go and unalive, has done unalive, has not been tried for, has not done nothing. But go ahead and finish them.
They are black unto the ground.
No, start back up and start at the top. Start at the top.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
They are black unto the ground. This right here is not describing no white man on the face of this earth. So this right here is telling you that the Jews are black. The Jews are black. And that is something that we should never forget. We should never forget. We should never forget that we are Jews. We should never forget that we are Jews. I'm gonna give you some more. Let me get Psalms chapter 147, and we're gonna start at verse 19. Like, there's a lot of things in the Bible that the Most High have been gave us that we should never forget.
All right, so this is Psalms chapter 147, chapter 19.
Verse 19.
I'm sorry, verse 19.
You can help him out. No, young man, I'm saying you can help him find it. Sounds right after Job, in between Job and Proverbs.
No.
Yeah. 147. We'll start at verse 19. You got it?
Yeah.
Go on. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Verse 19. So he sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
All right. So this is the Most High. He showed his word unto Jacob. Jacob is the father of, Jacob had 12 sons, which make up the nation of Israel. So now this is the Most High showing his word unto Jacob. And he showed his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. So no other nation. There's no other nation. So this is something that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm showing some things that we should never forget. Like, I haven't heard, and I was at fault. You know, like I say, some people repeat things that they have heard. I remember I used to tell people that the Bible was written by a white man.
Mm.
Yeah, I was at fault. I used to say that back in my early 20s. But when this right here was read, and I saw this, and I was like, oh, I was like, whoa. It's like, nah. But go ahead, continue.
He hath, verse 20, he hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
You see right here? Most High only dealt with Israelites. Like, this is our book. This is our history. The Most High have not dealt so with any other nation. He gave his words unto Jacob. He showed his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any other nation. He have not dealt so with any other nation. That's why nobody can break our book down when it comes to precepts upon precepts, line upon line. It tells you that only Israelites can do that. So this is some of the things that we should never forget. And I'm just pointing out things that we should never forget. I'm pointing out things that we should never forget. Like, we should never forget. Like, this is our book. Like, even when you look at the word Holy Bible, you know what you know what the acronyms for that? You know what's an acronym for that? How about you, Kabashawan? You know that? You ain't never heard it? You ain't never heard about the acronym for Bible? You haven't? Man, I'm gonna give it to y'all, man. Holy. Like, he only left you. Give you Bibles. Biblical instructions before leaving earth. I'm gonna go all the way down with it. He only left you biblical instructions before leaving earth. Like, wow. Yeah, this is our book. This is our Constitution. Blacks, Hispanics, Native American, man, woman, and child. This book does not belong to nobody else. This is something that you should never, ever, ever forget. Don't never let nobody tell you nothing different. Don't never let nobody tell you talking about people drafted in this. The Most I only got one nation he chose out of all 17 nations. But out of all 18 nations, he only chose one, Israelites. You should never forget that you can be perfect. Let me get Matthew chapter 5 and verse 48. So Christianity have you thinking that you can't be perfect. They will have you thinking that you cannot be perfect. But that's why it is a must for us for God's chosen people that is not in this truth, man. You got to come in this truth, man, and stop living according to the ways of this world. Ways of this world will have you to going astray. Whenever you get that, you can read.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 48.
Okay.
All right, so be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven, perfect.
Yes. That's something you should never forget. Stop listening to these Christians, this Christianity dogma, talking about you can be perfect. You know, they'll tell you that you can't be perfect, not knowing that they don't know the scriptures. Even when you look at, and I'm gonna read this for time's sake. Let me give you this other one. That's another precept. When you look at Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 13, it says, "Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God." Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. So, when you look at Matthew chapter 5 and verse 48, this right here is in red. So this will let you know that this, Christ doing the talking. So if Christ saying, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." And how you be perfect? You keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You don't lean on your own understanding, thinking that you can do what you want to do, and then thinking that you could go in a building on the first day of the week, thinking that you're serving the Most High, and you're not. And you're not. Let me get Isaiah chapter 46 and 13. It's something else that you should never forget. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about salvation, I haven't heard Christianity say this here, that salvation is free. It's for everybody. Then when you ask, if you ask the average person that is in Christianity, what is salvation? What it is, they can't break it down. They don't know what it is.
Well, it was Isaiah chapter 45, verse.
No. Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 13. Hey, oh, I like your drive, man. You you want to learn, man. You gonna get it, man. Don't get frustrated, man. Nah, you gonna get it, man. All you gotta do, listen. Look at me when I say this. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. This how you learn this, man. It ain't no different than let me say this here. It ain't no different than you taking a ball and throwing it in one hand. Then guess what? You know, then guess what? That one ball gonna come two. The next thing you know, you got three. You got all you gotta do is keep coming, man. Just keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Keep coming. You gonna learn. You gonna learn this, man. You gonna learn this.
Yeah. All right, so 13. All right, Isaiah chapter 46, verse 13. I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off, and my salvation not tarry. And I will place my salvation in Zion, for Israel is my glory.
Yes. So now you see how, like I said, if you ask the average Christian what is salvation, they wouldn't give you an answer. But they'll tell you that salvation is free. Salvation is for everybody. But let me ask you something. You know what salvation is? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot, because if you don't, I'm gonna share it with you. All right. When you look in Luke chapter Luke chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse 71. It says that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. So now, salvation is never that you just being saved from your enemy, you being delivered from your enemy. So now, in order for you to understand, when it comes to the Bible, you know that the Bible is written to us. The Bible was written by us, for us, to us. And I'm talking about God's chosen people. So now to understand who your enemies are, you get a better understanding of of what salvation is. So you being saved from your enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. So now when you look at Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68, God tells you that man, that you should be sold unto your enemies. That you should be sold unto your enemies. So that without saying, you know a people that was sold and you know a people that was doing the selling. So now when you look at salvation, salvation say that you should be saved from your enemies and from the hands of all that hate you. So it's only 18 nations. So guess what? All 17 of them hate us. All 17 other nations took us into slavery at some point in time. So now hey, salvation meaning that you're being delivered out of the hands of your enemies. That makes sense to you? And I'm telling you what the Most High saying. I didn't know this until I came into truth. I didn't know this. I couldn't tell you what salvation was. I didn't know. So, something that you should never forget. Salvation belongs to Israelites. They say, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. But you have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You cannot go out here on your own thinking that you can defend yourself, this and that, and the third. No, you can't. It's another thing that we should never forget when it comes to being an Israelite, when it comes to men and women. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 23 and 17. This right here is things that we should never forget, like I said earlier. But it's a lot more.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. I'll give it up. I'll have it.
Okay.
All right. There shall be no whore of the daughter of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
And outside of the ISUPK, the Commanding Junior Hunter, God's chosen people that took on the spirit of this world when it came down to, having our daughters dressing less, and dudes taking on that sodomite nature. It's now in 2026. It has gotten so now that well, I'm gonna speak on America. It has gotten so now that they are implementing that in schools now. They going getting kids little, having them saying that little boys can be little girls can be little boys. But if you don't get a hold of these kids and teach these kids will, that's cool. Because they make it look pleasable. They make it look pleasurable to the naked eye. You had these little girls wearing little mini skirts and this and that third, dressing little tops where they showing their stomach and stuff like that. They think that that's cute. You got little girls wearing makeup and put lipstick on, and you know what I'm saying? They thinking they grown, and the older women are failing them. Our black leaders are failing, have them failed us tremendously. When you look at the church, oh man, Christianity has them failed us at an all-time high because the black man that is in the Christian church, he would take a back seat and they will let the woman call herself a preacher, let the woman be doing the talking. So with that being said, she talking to make herself look good. She is not educating that little young sister. She is not telling that little young sister like, yo, this is wrong. The black man hasn't took a back seat. He likes seeing the quiet, directed dude waving his hand. He got one hand in the air, one hand on his hip. They like homosexuals being in the church doing this and doing that. You got older cats is really taking advantage of these little young girls. All of this, what you see out in society, you seeing that goes on in the church as well. And they're comfortable with that. It's crazy how America has laws that protect these sodomites. And you ain't even got a law that you can't even won't even protect our little black brothers from being unalive. Not one law. It's so bad that these sodomites are in high positions, like judges, like way up there. And they can implement laws that, you know, people that's in Hollywood can't even say nothing. Like here in the ISUPK, the Commander Jimmy Hunter, we could call them a fag. But you can't say that if you hold a certain position in society. You can't talk to them and say this and say that, man, you're gonna be exiled. You're gonna be exiled. And they make that lifestyle look like it's cool. Like it's all right when it's not. That's why keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments is a must. You have to teach a child in the way he should go, and the way she should go. And you know, that is wrong in the sight of the Most High. God ain't made no man for no another man. God ain't made no woman for no woman. No. And that's something that you should never forget. And we have done, well, I'm not going to say in ISUPK we have done lost because we haven't. But for some of our people that is out in this world, they have done lost control. They have done lost control. And they don't know where to turn now. They don't know where to turn because now you don't let your kids get a certain spirit on them till like you should have grabbed hold to when they was young. Now you don't let them experience a lifestyle, and they have them made it comfortable for people that is in that lifestyle to keep continuing in that lifestyle. They got laws that protect them. They got, yo, man, they have doctors that be performing like you can get. It's certain people that get operations for free, and you got people that can't even go to the doctor and be seen that ain't even in that lifestyle. You got insurance companies that support this. You got doctors that support this. But you go there with a cold or something wrong with you, and the first thing they ask you, yo, you got insurance? Oh, well, such a, they make excuses. But to be in that lifestyle, and you have some people that lean towards that lifestyle just to be accepted, just to be protected, and it's crazy. But at the end of the day, you got to answer to the Most High. And the Most High just gonna unalive you. But in the kingdom, none of that BS ain't going on. None of that. But they don't tell you that the effeminate will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. They like to sit and say that, yo, I was born like this. Yo, crazy. Like, come on, man. Stop, man. Stop. Y'all just gonna play with the Most High like that, disrespect the Most High like that, and then on top of that, y'all just disgusted. The covenant that the Most High made with Noah, y'all take that and use that and yo, man. People crazy, man. People is crazy, man. People gonna be put to death, man. Like, it's a lot. People. But you should never forget that, listen, the Most High did not make you for that. He did not. A man supposed to be with his wife. A wife, she's supposed to be with her husband. No in between. No in between. You can't even take that route. Let me get Romans chapter 9 and verse 4. When it comes to, man, being in this truth is like no tomorrow. Like it's a beautiful thing, because when you see the things that God has in store for you, and you know that you can read it for yourself, it's nothing that nobody can tell you. That's just like how you look at coming in this truth and you telling a family member something. That's like somebody trying to tell us something about this truth. Especially, you know, when you done sat in here and you done read and you done got some precept. Like, nah. Like, nah. It's no getting around that. But whenever you get that, you can read it though.
Okay. So this is Romans chapter 9, verse 4. I'll give it a
Con.
All right. Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth the adoption?
Stop right there. This right here, you should never forget. Listen, that adoption, grafted in, whatever. Everything that's in this Bible belongs to Israelites. This is not going to no other nation. This is not like you can't. It's no getting around that. This is something that you should never forget. This is something that you should grab hold to. Like, if you hear this ain't no private interpretation. We reading this as is. Has nothing to do with no private interpretation. You can't go to that scripture where it's talking about neither Jew nor Greek, bond nor free, because you don't even have the breakdown for that. You don't even have the breakdown for that. Like, you can't even come back and a lot of people in Christianity, they like to run to that. When they hear Romans 9 and 4, they like to run to that. And there ain't no getting, it's no getting around that. But go ahead, continue, man.
To whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises.
This right here, hey, everything belongs to us. The Most High said he even made the world for our sake. It's just that we messed up along the way. But we're going to get all that back, though. We're going to get that back, thus saith the Lord. We're going to get that back, because here in the ISUPK, the Commander General Hunter, we serve the Most High. We serve the Most High according to what the Bible says. We serve him. So all that, like, that grafted, I don't even know why these churches are still, I mean, I know why they're still up and running, but the only thing coming up out of there is money. There's no truth. There's nothing that you could benefit from. There's nothing that, you know what I'm saying? money coming up out of there, and we coming into some days where the thing that is of this world is getting worse. Prices is going up. Everything is going up. Guess what? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't say this here. You know how they say you got to pay 10% of tithes? Now, tithes in the church might go up by 12, 13%. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody say that one day. Oh, tithing went up, everything else going up. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, man. But guess what? A deceived person don't know when they being deceived. A deceived person don't know when they being deceived. You think that, you doing what's right, and they just giving you false hopes. That's why they gonna pay. Man, these black preachers and man, y'all gonna be held, y'all held at like a more higher standard, because the people that you are lying to, their blood is on your hands. Their blood is on your hands. You have them led these people astray for years. For years, you have been led these people astray, all because for some money, and the American dollar value has been lost, has been dropped, but you don't care. As long as you can make it to that trap house, you're gonna keep going. But this is one of the things that you should never forget. Like, if you really know the Bible, even if you don't know the Bible, you hear like Romans 9:4, just read that as it is. Because it's saying, who are Israelites? Who are Israelites? We're talking about God's chosen people. Everything that is in this Bible, that is of this Bible, belongs to us. Belongs to us. You can't incorporate no other nation. You can't put no other person into that. Everything belongs to us. Finish this off. Let me get Revelations chapter 21. And we're gonna start at verse 12. So, powerful book. And I'm glad I found out I was an Israelite. Glad I found out I was an Israelite. I'm running around here saying everything that I was hearing people say. And everything I'm hearing people say. But now I know. Now I know. And it's a beautiful thing. That's always in the back. You got it.
This is Revelations chapter 21, verse 12. Came off on the heaven. Come on. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the 12 gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
All right. To all Christianity, to anybody else outside of Christianity, this right here is describing the walls that are going to be in the kingdom of heaven. 12 gates. North, south, east, west. And the names were of the tribes of Israel. So I'm going to say what I'm going to say at the end. Go ahead.
Verse 13. On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates.
So this is my thing. We know that in the kingdom of heaven, you got the gates that is for the tribe of Israel. So this is my thing. This is my thing. Where are the gates for Christianity? Where is the gates for the Chinese people? Where is the gates for the Japanese? Where, I mean, just give me any other nation. If you want to sit and say that you could be grafted in and all of that, Romans 9:4, it lets you know who is who. But my thing is, the kingdom of heaven is not for everybody. It's only for one nation, God's chosen people. That's who it's for. It's for God's chosen people. It is not for no other nation. It is not for no other nation. So there's no getting around that. And there's no getting around that. It's no private interpretation. It's no somebody interpreting that wrong. It's not. There's no getting around that. Everything in the Bible is for Israelites and Israelites only. It's for Israelites and Israelites only. So, Israel, thank everybody for tuning in. Come tomorrow. Got a powerful scripture breakdown class. He's an officer of Karyala. Israel, stay up, stay tuned, stay focused. With that, I'm gonna give a courtesy salute to the brothers, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shabbat Thumb. To the sisters, Yahweh Shemor, Alatham, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Class dismissed.